Hi everyone, this is Priya Satish. Welcome to my channel Creative Motives. In this video, I'm going to show you the step-by-step procedure to make a mixed media mural. First, I traced a Krishna design. Reference image is from Google. Next, I'm using the Fevicryl molded to create the embossed effect for the jewelry and other areas. I'm using the fabric glue to stick the molded to the base. For smoothening the molded, I'm using a talcum powder to get a very clean, smooth finish. Now I am painting the turban with a mix of little crimson and white. This gives a slight pinkish color. I am using the Fevicryl acrylic colors. While capturing this process, I forgot to plug in the charger to my mobile, so my battery died down halfway through. So the turban shading is not there in the video. However, the same technique is shown later in the video in another part. For the body color, I am using a mix of white, teal blue and very minute quantity of Prussian blue. This creates a beautiful blue for the body shading. To give depth to the body shading color, I used a little bit of teal blue, Prussian blue along with crimson red. This will give a very slight purplish tinge so that the body shading is done using this color. I'm using the wet shading technique to blend the colors. The application of the colors should be very smooth. It should not look patchy. The entire face and the fingers are done in the similar manner. I'm taking a little more white along with the teal blue and Prussian blue body color to give the nose shading. Adding a little more white to the body color and blending along with the background to give the highlight on the nose. For the neck area, I'm using the darker tone first and then using the lighter tone to give a nice highlight. I am now using yellow ochre in a very watery consistency on the forehead. Now I am using a very watery consistency of burnt sienna and I am filling up the eyebrows and the eyeballs. Now I added a little black to the burnt sienna and made a dark brown color. Using this color, I am now applying for the eyebrows and the eyeball. The eye outline is also done with the same color. Around the eyeball, inside the white area, I'm giving a very watery consistency of Prussian blue. This will help tone down the brightness of the white in the eye. Next, I'm using crimson to fill the lips and in a watery consistency. Later, I will be removing a little bit of the same color to show the highlight. Now, I'm adding a very watery consistency of burnt sienna for the dress. For the garland, I'm giving a base coat of white mixed with a very little amount of black. For the hair part, I'm using more of black with a little white to make it a dark grey, and I am filling it. It is now time to move on to the curtains. I'm using the Fevicryl sparkling color copper to give the base coat for the curtains. For shading, I'm using the cherry red pearl metallic color to give the shade. This is the same technique I used for the turban. First, I drew the lines with crimson mixed with a little bit of Prussian blue to make it a slight purplish tone, and I applied for the turban. Later on, with the same color, I gave the depth. For the curtain, I'm using the pearl cherry red. Now moving on to the garland. To create the flowers, I'm using the double loading technique using light grey and white. For the light grey, I have mixed more white with a little bit of black so that the color is slightly lighter than the base color. Later, I loaded the brush with the grey and reloaded again only in the tip of the brush with white, and I am doing the flowers. Next, I am adding a little depth to the dress. For this, I am using burnt sienna mixed with a little bit of black and giving the shade. I am now using the Fevicryl dark green to give the dots on the dress. Later, I will outline the green dots with white color. I am now using the white color to give the highlights on the face. I am now using the crimson to give the tilaka on the forehead. It is now time to do the background. So for the background, I am using the Fevicryl dark green for the base coat. I am planning to do a crackle texture for the background. Once the base coat is dry, I am adding Fevicol to the background. I am adding the Fevicol in a little thicker consistency. Now I am using a little watery consistency of turquoise blue to give the top coat. I am applying the top coat in one direction and I am applying it before the Fevicol is dry. It is okay to give the top coat when the Fevicol is still wet. As I apply the color, tiny cracks have started appearing on the base. I am now using the pearl metallic gold to cover all the areas done with molded. Next, I'm using a little bit of black to give depth in the hair part. For the highlights in the hair, I'm using white. Next, I'm using the Fevicryl 3D outliner white to give the pearl effect on the jewelry. I'm adding the 3D outliner pearl metallic gold onto the molded areas to make it look more grand. Next, using fabric glue, I'm sticking stones. Now I'm adding the stone chain for the turban. Later, I'm adding the pearl metallic gold and 3D outliner white to give more beauty to the ornaments. Somehow I was not very happy with the mango design on the turban. So I decided I will add a ready-made embellishment which I had in the stash along with the peacock feather. Next, I'm adding 3D outliner gold to the curtain. There was one step which I forgot to capture. I used fabric glue to give a little bit of texture on the area that I am coloring now. For the color, I am using the Fevicryl glass color tomato red to cover this area. Once it dries, you will be able to see the texture on that area. Now the painting is completely done. I hope you liked it. Kindly like, share and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more such inspirations. Thank you. Bye-bye.